we are taking a look at this free plugin, Kolin, courtesy of Analog Obsession. I'm going to lay down a cool drum loop, and then we are going to play around with this compressor for a second, because I am very curious. The reviews of it are good, and people say that it is a spicy compressor, and I sure do like a spicy compressor. Who doesn't like a good spicy compressor? Let's scoot over to the drum cam. Excellent. We have, I believe that's the Hansarum's vocal booth kit in Superior Drummer. Okay, so there is our dry drum groove with no processing. And now let's play with Kolin. So, or Kolin? Maybe it's Kolin. Kolin seems like it would be kind of an unfortunate name. vari-mu limiting amplifier from Analog Obsession. Yeah, so I would assume that this is something like an RCA BA6A. I think that's the emulation it's going after. I didn't look on the thing, but it's like an old school vari-mu tube compressor, very vintage. But adjustable attack and release, which is slick. We've got a wet-dry mix, which is always nice. Always appreciate that for parallel compression. And then I'm assuming a high-pass sidechain and also external sidechaining. Wow, it's quite full-featured for something like this. So this high-pass, I would imagine, will pull the low end out of the compression circuit so that our kick drum, for instance, doesn't like blow out the compression. If it's louder than everything else, we can only compress the upper part of the frequency spectrum. So we can set that all the way up to 500 hertz, which is very good. Snappy. Oh yeah. That's quite nice. We go slow attack, fast release, which is kind of classic on drums. It's very grabby. Definitely feels relatively transparent. Let's gain match it a little bit so that we're not blowing everything out. There's no compression. And then there's width. That's nice. It's thick. It's very like gluey and feels pretty dense to me, but also isn't coloring things in a very aggressive way. Nice, relatively kind of smooth response, which is definitely typical for vari-mu. We like that. I mean, yeah, initial impressions, very good. I probably, like I said, wouldn't necessarily go for this for a drum compressor. Unless maybe here, let's do some parallel compression with it real quick. So again, super fast release, relatively slow attack. And then if we pull the mix back to about 50% and do parallel compression with it. That's nice. Gain match a little bit better. It's subtle. It's very clean. It doesn't have a ton of like pump or character to it. It feels very linear in its response. That's very nice. I feel like this would shine more on probably sound quite good on basses, probably would sound very good writing a vocal, could do well on like certain types of like keyboard elements or synth elements. I would even love to hear it on something orchestral, like you could put it on, a string bus or something. I like very linear, smooth, clean compressors, but compressors that can grab quite a bit on string stuff. So I think it would be a really good option for those applications. Sounds okay on drums, probably wouldn't be my go-to choice on drums. But overall, I would give it initial impressions, probably like 7 out of 10, I would say. It seems very nice. Not the most versatile compressor in the world, but very cool, and I think definitely worth picking up and playing around with if you want a more old school kind of vari-mu style compressor. So that's from Analog Obsession. You can get it from their website. I found it on plugins for free. But yeah, what's their website? Yeah, analogobsession.com. That is the Kolin vintage limiting amplifier.